Hi, Jeremy Cordeaux in the Court of Public Opinion. I'm just on air here to let you know that we'll be live streaming the Court of Public Opinion every Friday between 9 o'clock and 12 on jeremycordeaux.com. Please join us. We'd love to have you.
Hey, Callum, a mutual friend of ours, their son recently got suspended from school.
Yeah.
And we started having a chat about it. And I realised I got suspended from school.
You mean you...
I blacked it out.
It escaped my mind that I got suspended. You know, it's obviously, it's a bigger thing that happens if you're at school. It's an unideal thing, but, sometimes it does happen. A lot of times around muck-up day and stuff like that, I feel like that's... If the schools have a quota to suspend as many people as they can... Muck-up day they'd be like licking their lips.
You think the principal goes up to teachers like, oh, you've only suspended one kid this year.
KPI's a little bit low on the suspension. I might have to cancel your maths classes, reduce your pay a little bit. But yeah, I feel like muck-up day is a big one. Also, the inter-girls soccer games and stuff, all the flares going off, another big one for suspensions.
I mean, if we talk through the punishments throughout at least our school, it went in ranked. You had the rubbish pickup, which was 15 minutes out of your recess or lunch to pick up rubbish, and then you have to get it signed off by a teacher. Above that, you had the detention. Above that, you had a Saturday detention where you had to come into school on your Saturday and do a full day of work.
Yeah.
And then above that was the suspension. And that was either internal or external. I got an internal suspension. And that's exactly what we want to hear from Adelaide right now. 1300 737374 is the number to get involved. Why'd you get suspended? But my story is, it's not good.
I feel like you're still dirty on it because I think in your head you're like, I didn't really deserve it.
Look, it didn't deserve a suspension. I'm not going to sit here and say it didn't deserve any sort of punishment, but I don't think it deserves suspension.
You think in the hierarchy of punishments at our school, it was, you probably deserved a lunchtime pickup, so picking up the rubbish would have been...
Yeah.
It would have sufficed.
I don't think it even deserved a detention, to be honest.
Okay.
But,
all right, well, let's go to the fresh jury. I mean, obviously, people can hear it out and see what it is. If it's extreme, if it's not extreme. Do you think you've been hard done by this one?
I've definitely been hard done by. So the story goes, we were in year 9, year 10, and I was in Chinese class, and somebody sort of threw a book over at our table, and it sort of hit me in the shoulder.
Yeah, okay.
Right? And I was on my laptop not paying attention, got hit in the shoulder with a book. I'm like, what the hell?
You would be. It's not like a classic, spit through the straw or a scrunched up bit of paper. Someone's gone a bit...
Someone's thrown a whole book at me.
Someone's gone a bit left of field from the classic thing you throw around the classroom and gone a full 60-page book.
Yeah. Mate, I'll let you know right now, it's a lot more than 60 pages. We're talking about 400 pages.
Right, okay, that's thick.
So I picked this book up. And boys will be boys. I picked it up and just sort of threw it back in their direction, and I ended up hitting someone in the head.
Yeah,
with the book. Now it was a soft cover book. It's not like it's a hardcover book. But then we all got sent down to the teachers' lounge where we had to explain what happened, and then eventually one of the teachers comes out and says, "Mate, sorry, but we're going to have to suspend you for that." I'm like, really? Suspend me? And they were like, yeah, well, it's just because of the book that you threw. Now, we went to a Christian school.
Yeah, very, very Christian.
Can
you tell?
The book that I threw was the Bible.
The power of Christ compels you!
Now, I got told, hey, if this was a science book, which, might I add, is a lot bigger, a much bigger, heavier book, or a math book, or anything like that,
sure,
it'd just be a detention.
It's crazy,
It's the fact that it was the Bible. But that's what was thrown at me. I'm just picking up and I'm retaliating.
It is such a...
Which I don't condone, by the way. Do not do that.
No, obviously don't condone the violence of throwing the holy scriptures around.
But in the hasty decisions that I made, it was just sort of a pick-up throwback.
How funny is that, though? Good point in the fact that those science textbooks would be, they're thick as a good 500 pages when you combine the answers and the questions, all that. And to think they would get a lesser sentence if you smack someone in the head with that, as opposed to a smaller Bible just because it's a Christian school. It is a bizarre world we live in.
Yeah, but we want the Fresh fam to get involved here. Why'd you get suspended?
Yeah, what happened to the kid you threw the Bible at? Has he converted to Christianity? Or... You smacked it into him?
The power of Christ compels you!
We got this one doozy of a text that came in. Someone said, one lunchtime, had a horrible English teacher. She was in her room marking all the work. So all the boys got together and managed to slide a massive block of lockers down the hall over the classroom door and trap her in.
No!
When the bell went for lesson to start, she was obviously still trapped. Apparently was yelling and freaking out, in brackets. And all the male teachers had to move the lockers to free her. Teachers started to interview us, and one of the boys ratted.
Oh, snitch.
Spent a week staring at a brick wall in detention. Wow.
That's cool.
That is cool. That seems like
Now-
a bit criminal or something, like trapping someone like a mouse.
That deserves a suspension. Let's go over to Gawler. We're going to cross to Marco. Marco, mate, why'd you get suspended?
How you going, boys?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
I had 2 weeks to go, year 10, and there was an assembly principal was holding, and basically just like sneezed like so loud, just echoed through the halls and that. And he get to my office and that, and we had the graduation a couple of nights coming up, and I couldn't go to it, but I'd already got my suit and that, so I hired a suite above the graduation floor, and I got all the boys and girls to come up to my room, so we just partied and had our own graduation.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the principal found out, and he got us kicked out of the room, and we partied in the car park after that.
Very nice.
The party doesn't die.
Who
He
did
didn't
you
like me. I was at the run market.
Can I ask, while everyone was at the graduation and stuff, and were you just sitting up in the room waiting, like just by yourself, or?
I went down, tried to get in, and he goes, "Get out of here, blah, blah." And my girlfriend was up there with me, and then I said to all the boys, girls, my friends, said, "Come up my room, it'd be more fun up there." And then we had about 40, 50 people up there, and then sort of got kicked out after that. It got a bit hectic, and then the principal found out and dobbed us in. So,
Jeez, hotel parties sounds a bit rock and roll.
Yeah, that is pretty rock and roll, Marco.
Yeah,
not too bad as a suspension, I got to say. Better than mine. Hey, we're going to go to Rosewater. We get Daniel on the line. Daniel, mate, your suspension's just insane. What happened?
Oh, well, that's the joys of being a year 9, mate, is your brain is definitely not functioning the way that it should. So good old science lab, playing around with the Bunsen burners and stuff. We've had the safety talk. Teacher leaves the room. I'm digging around in the cupboard, managed to find, I think it was about a 10-metre hose that attaches to said Bunsen burner. In my very smart way, I decided to attach it to the actual Bunsen burner.
Were you going for extra credit or something?
I guess you could say that. Relit it, and then decided that it was a great idea to go chase my mates around the lab. And that's when the teacher walked back in.
Oh no! Jeez. So you were chasing your mate around with a hose that was lighting things on fire.
It was, yeah. So it was attached to the Bunsen burner. The Bunsen burner was lit, and the flame was pretty big.
Jeez, it's one slither away from being an arsonist or something.
Pretty much.
It's a glorified flamethrower.
I think I was going for supervillain at that point. But...
You're wearing a mask and all, trying to close the identity.
Good on you, Dylan. Cheers for getting involved, mate. Hey, Dylan in Golden Grove, you've just called up. Why'd you get suspended?
Hey, lads, how you doing?
Yeah,
Very
good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. So we're in exam at school, and I needed to go to the toilet heaps bad, so I asked the teacher, can I please go to the toilet? And she said no, so I was busting. So I went and peed in a pot plant in the classroom.
I mean, you know
Dylan.
what? Once again, getting extra credit. I'm just trying to boost up the photosynthesis in this thing. I'm doing my own little experiment. If it's at school, you can always pass it over as some sort of science, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, right. I mean, was this in front of everyone then in the pot plant?
Yeah.
Did you go to a co-ed school or was it all boys, Dylan?
No, it was a Christian school. So it was probably about 15 years ago now. So
did you
probably getting a lot more trouble these days.
Did you do classic one hand up on the wall like you're at a urinal? Doing the shake.
Hey, cheers for getting involved, Dylan. Hey, finally, we've got Damien from Largs North on the line. Damien, mate, why'd you get suspended?
Hey, how are you guys? Well, I just had a friend of mine, me and him were at the start just getting little bits of erasers for some reason and chucking them at the English teacher. She was already fed up with us.
Yeah.
So chucked us down to the reflection room, and we saw a fire extinguisher on the way down there. So we decided to do what any 15-year-old boys would do and started to graffiti the school with it, which wasn't very smart.
Once again, you could always pledge that there was a little fire somewhere, and you were the ones who put it out. You could easily flip that and be the heroes of the story.
I didn't look at it like that. No,
it's one to
Why
consider.
would you? Good on you, Damien. Jeez, there's some sort of common pattern here that out of all the suspension stories we've heard, it's all been blokes. We're going to go to Seaford. Tony, mate, why'd you get suspended?
Oh, it was just something a little bit silly, but at the time I thought it was pretty cool. We were in science labs and we're mucking around with the gas taps, the ones that
sure,
the desk. And we're sitting there lighting them on fire, and that was pretty cool. And then I decided to suck on some of the gas myself, and then get my lighter out and blow fireballs out of my mouth. And that was pretty cool. But the teacher thought it was not the safest thing in the world, so ended up with 3 days suspension.
You know what's so funny?
3 days.
3 days. You know what's so funny though? I bet the teacher watched that, and obviously you have a duty of care where you're like, oh, I have to punish this person.
I have to put a stop to this right now. But that teacher absolutely tried that when you left the classroom, Tony.
You would seriously be watching a thing, and that's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
100%. I reckon that was something for them to talk about in the staff room at lunch, hey?
Hey, you're just giving them the interesting topics to talk about.
That's it. Keeping the day fresh.
Plenty of material.
Good on you, Tony. Thanks for getting involved, mate. Hey, Joe in Gula. Mate, we read your text. You sent one in. This is crazy. Can you walk us through why you got suspended?
Yep. I was in year 10. We went for an excursion to Parliament House, of all places. I decided it might be a good idea to take a bottle of scotch with me for me and the boys, maybe at lunchtime, have a few cheeky drinks. Then, me being a bit of an idiot as I was when I was younger, I decided I'd show off, and I grabbed the bottle and downed the majority of it.
Wow.
Yeah, I ended up pretty blind and pretty untidy. Had a crack at the teacher and a couple of other students.
When you say have a crack on the teacher, are you saying you got into an argument, or did you just start hitting on the teacher?
I mean, yeah.
Either or. A bit of both. Take your pick.
Tried picking her up, basically, and she was a bit of an elderly lady as well, so it's not something I'd normally do, or not the type I'd normally go for, but at the time, I was pretty messed up, so, I ended up suspended for the rest of the year, which was permanent.
That's the rest of the year? How many terms did you have to go, mate? Was this in term 1 or 4?
This was about halfway through term 3.
Yeah, right.
Were you like urban legend around the school grounds, like as the guy that got a bit messy at Parliament House and tried to?
Yeah, I definitely became a bit of a legend at that school, which after that wasn't my school anymore because they'd said I could come back the following year as a guest, which basically meant as soon as I messed up once, I was out, and I knew guaranteed that would happen probably within the first week. So, I ended up at a different school, but I did go back there a couple of times, and I got a few pats on the back and a lot of cheering, and I was definitely a bit of a celebrity for all the wrong reasons.
Good on you, Joe. I love how this is your first time getting involved in the show. You're a first-time texter, and this is the story you've outed yourself with, mate.
I've been listening for a long time. When I heard this one, I thought I'll have to ring up.
Better jump on.
Yeah.
Good on you, Joe. Thanks for getting involved, mate. Hey, look, we just got another person call up now. This is going bonkers. Callum in Seaford, why'd you get suspended?
So what happened, I was in year 5 and this other chick was in year 7. She was bullying me.
Sure.
So I turned around, fought back and grabbed her hair and pulled a chunk out.
Ooh. Big chunk. Was she riding with the ponytail, or what was the hairdo that you grabbed onto?
It was down. It was straight. It was all sort of very pretty.
Yeah. God, how much did you deadlift at the time?
Not too much.
Yeah. I mean, taking on someone 2 years older than you, I wouldn't want to mess with you, Callum. Good on you. Thanks for getting involved.
Hi, Jeremy Cordeaux in the Court of Public Opinion. I'm just on air here to let you know that we'll be live streaming the Court of Public Opinion every Friday between 9 o'clock and 12 on jeremycordeaux.com. Please join us. We'd love to have you.